to Accelerate Your Wealth, a podcast by Rebecca Robertson, founder and director of Evolution Financial Planning. We hope you enjoy the show, and please feel free to leave us a review. It really does help. Feel free to connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn and Instagram, or head over to www.rebeccarobertson.co.uk or our sponsor, Evolution Financial Planning, for regulated advice on www.evolutionfinancialplanning.co.uk/podcast.
Hey, how you doing? I hope you're doing well today. Welcome to today's podcast, which is all about being accountable for your money and your finances. Now, this is a lead on from our previous podcast, where we were talking about budgeting and planning for the future and looking at all of those sort of bigger picture goals and breaking that down. So today's session is about being more accountable and just taking that subject into a little bit more detail. So I'm going to be sharing with you 7 things that you can do to be more accountable with your finances on a more like monthly, day-to-day basis. So I hope you enjoy them. Let's go. So number 1 is have phone reminders. So whether it's on your laptop, that's on your work calendar, if you don't want people seeing it, use your personal calendar. So I have my Gmail, or you can just use an actual app that's in your phone that can set reminders. Now, what are these reminders for? What are they going to do? It might be that you know that you need to go to a certain shop to buy some cheaper groceries, and you know you need to do it on the weekly basis, and you need to block the time out your diary, or you need to set a reminder to go and do that on a certain day. So whatever it might be, to be more accountable, to take a step back and really list everything out that you might do in a week, that you might need reminders for. Or it might be that when you realise you've ran out of something and you think, okay, well, if I don't organise myself, I end up buying that in the small little shop where it's 10 times more expensive. So you have like a little list of the things that you need to buy, and you have that either on your desk or in your phone as notes, and you make those little notes as you go, and then you can set a reminder on a certain day to go and do it and go and buy it before or add it to your shopping list or whatever. So using your phone as a tool to set reminders, to make notes, is a great way to be super organised with your finances, because it's meaning that then you are controlling your budget, you're controlling your unknown expenditure. And unknown expenditure is one of the biggest, holes in your bucket. It hemorrhages people's money of all these little transactions here and there. Second thing is remove your card, bank details, credit cards, debit cards, everything from your Amazon account. Okay, just remove them all. It's far too easy just to go zap, 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 and then before you know it, it's gone. So move them from your web browsers. Like I have those they come up where you put in your bank details, or you go to buy something and it's all saved in there already. Remove all of those, whether it's on your phone or on your laptop, your PC, wherever. Remove them all, because it means that you have to then think about what you're actually buying. It stops you from taking that action. It stops you from making those quick reactional purchases, maybe when you're on the go, where you haven't got time to think. You might be sitting on a train or sitting in a car park waiting to pick up the kids from school, wherever it might be, and we are rushing. We haven't actually taken the time to make a heart-centered decision about our purchases. Number 3, set up a separate account for what I would call splash money or fun money, or stuff for the kids' money. Like, have separate pots and separate accounts for things, or take it out as cash, and that you have it in a literal jar or an envelope, where once that's gone, it's gone. What we tend to do is, either if you have the capacity to, is we just keep spending, and we get to halfway through the month or the end of the month and we don't really know what we've got to show for it. So by having separate accounts, so you could set up a separate bank account or just a separate savings account, and you allocate a certain amount each week or each month for that particular thing. What it does is it doesn't make you feel so flash. So it might be that you either have it as a spending pot, or you have it as an actual, okay, well, I know I need to pay for this in 2 weeks' time, and you move it out of your main bank account so that then you can see actually how much you've got to play with. I like to give myself a weekly budget on just general bits and pieces, and I pay that into a separate bank account. And so when it's gone, it's gone. Visual. So visual aids are great. So what are we on now? 1, 2, 3. Number 4. So number 4 is visual aids. So if you might be aiming for a certain thing, whether it's, you know, you're eating really healthily and you want to lose weight, and it might be that you want to do a certain thing with that. So like for me, it'd be like riding my horse. I'll picture a picture of me riding my horse. If it's you're going on an event and there's a particular dress you wanted to wear and you just don't, you know, don't want to be in the size 18 or 19, 20s, you want to be back in your 14s or 15s, 16s, and it might be you in a dress at a certain point. You know, obviously body wise, everyone is different. And if you wish to be in a size 8, 10 or a 12, that's totally your decision, whatever you feel comfortable in. So you might have, but that might affect your finances because you might be thinking, well, I'm not going to have that takeaway, but you can treat yourself, and it might be a case of, okay, well, I'm going to have a treat a week. To visually help you towards those sort of structures, it might be a picture of a gym or a picture of you on holiday or a picture of you in a dress, or it might be something that you're leading towards, or it might be that you're saving for that holiday, so you want a picture of that holiday for that reason. So whatever the visual aid is to help you to think about and work towards that particular goal. So visual aids are really, really great. Standing orders, really simple. So number 5, standing orders. So I talked about separate accounts, but also have automated savings. Anything that is automating your spending, automating your savings is really, really great. So if you had a standing order that's set up on a certain day of the month, hasn't got to be the 1st, it could be the 5th or the 6th, that is set up, that the money leaves your account and it's gone, you're not thinking about it. 1, keeps you accountable because it's going to happen. And 2, it allows you to have to only think about it once when you first set up that standing order. You don't have to keep thinking about it and reminding yourself. What are we on now? We're 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but I said 7, but I think there's 6 on here. Track everything. So track absolutely everything. Every bit of penny you spend, track it. Whether you want to use a spreadsheet, want to use a piece of paper, want to use the planner that I showed you previously. I'm looking around for it, but I can't see it. If whatever you want to use to track your finances, track every single penny. That will keep you accountable. But the last one, which I'm trying to think of one other, so there is 7, is find a buddy. So having a buddy that will do all these things with you, you're sharing ideas. It means that when you're thinking, oh, I want to go and buy this thing, just by sharing with somebody, oh, I almost bought this thing and I really wanted it, but I'm not sure. It just gives you that time to think it through and to talk it through with somebody else. Also, you know, it's a case of if they've got a good idea that they've tried and it's worked for them, they can share that with you. I've done that recently with I was trying to get healthy, not just because of weight, just because I just want to try and get healthier. You know, age is kicking in, and I was talking to one of my friends, and she used this app, and I thought I'd give it a try. Worked really well for her, but didn't for me. And then I've got another friend. We're going to do something similar, so we're both going to go on the running machine for a certain amount of times a week, and when we do it, we'll tell each other, and we're going to keep each other accountable to do that. And this morning I was so tempted to not go on the running machine. I was so tempted to say, oh, I won't do it today because the kids this and the kids that, and I thought, no, I don't want to let my body down, that I'm not going to go on the running machine. So having accountability is really, really good. Now to think of the number 7. I said there were 7 and I've only said 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So last of all, I would say that you have to be super honest with yourself, and you have to be really attuned to what it is you're trying to achieve. What is the goal? What is the bigger picture? And I've talked a lot about that already, so I'm not going to focus on that part, but really being honest with yourself through the process. You know, when you're needing to spend money, when you want to spend money, being really honest around the conversations that you're having in your head around what you want to spend the money on, will keep you incredibly accountable. There's a lot of expectations around money, a lot of psychology around it, what people expect from us. You know, at the moment, I've got so many things to pay for. Like it's this constant sort of pressure to be spending money. and being really honest with yourself. Do I really need to be doing this? And equally, looking at your mindset, where's this come from? Where's this idea of living a certain way, having a certain lifestyle? Where's that come from? Has that come from the fact that that's what my parents did, or I'm trying to avoid what my parents did? Or has that come from an experience maybe more recent in my life through another partner that's influenced you, or circumstances or situation that's happened? Are you limiting yourself, or are you doing things in a way that actually isn't true to yourself? So being heart-led in your decision making about money, being honest with yourself, will actually keep you more accountable than anything else, because having the structures in place are important, but it all comes from what's going on inside, what's going on in our head, how we're feeling about stuff, that will have the greatest motivation. We can convince ourselves to do something when we really want to, one way or the other. So just have a think about that. Spend some time with that. So there's your 7 ways to get accountable with your finances. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast show. And as always, do subscribe, do leave me a review. Love to hear from you. Do share with your friends. It does make a big difference. The more downloads, the better. And the more downloads I get, the better the people I can interview can come onto the show, because we're getting loads of interest and loads of downloads. So please do share. I'm much appreciated. Take care.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Accelerate Your Wealth. For further help or to connect with Rebecca directly, please head over to the website www.rebeccarobertson.co.uk, where you can find further information on our planner, book, and how to further maximise your wealth. Our sponsor, Evolution Financial Planning, for regulated advice on pensions, investments, mortgages, insurances on www.evolutionfinancialplanning.co.uk/podcast.